Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Hell yeah, we're in it.
We are so here.
It's June, folks. Buckle up.
Yeah, baby.
It's Pride, so everyone move out of the way.
Right, everyone get more woke now.
Hey, but for real though?
Yeah.
Hey.
If you don't mind, you know?
If you could do me just a real solid, actually, and be the woke friend.
Right. Be the friend that is too woke, because I actually would prefer that than what we got going on. Like, it's kind of wild how you never think you'd exist in a time where you would, like, miss rainbow capitalism. You know what
Jesus.
I mean?
I do.
And yet, like, I'm like, damn, we kind of had something with that, huh?
I mean, the problem with us having, started adulthood in Obama era is it's such a fucking rose-colored glasses moment, right?
Yeah.
Because things seemed good and they weren't good. Everyone shut up, right? They weren't good. But we got a version of adulthood where it was like things are progressive, gay rights, peace sign, right?
Uh-huh.
And I just, what do you mean? What do you mean that it was like, everyone was like, no, that's too much, when it was barely anything, actually. Yeah. So, welcome to the Twilight. If you're listening to this, you're gay now. Congrats.
Yeah, you made it.
If you weren't already, if you were listening to this and you weren't already, first of all, whoa,
it's brave,
Yeah, but if you weren't already, welcome to Pride. You're now the woke friend.
Right.
Congrats. They're gonna clip that and they're gonna play it on Fox News on repeat. So.
These podcasts are turning the kids gay,
You wouldn't download a gay.
You wouldn't download a gay. Come on.
So anyways, welcome to Twilight. All your media is gay. Sorry about it.
Yeah.
We've been telling you for 8 years, and we will continue to tell you until we are dust in the ground. How are you?
I'm here. I feel the energy of June just...
Trixie Mattel woke me up with a bat this morning. It was really scary.
Yeah. They're here, and I'm living. I'm existing.
You might be asking baseball or fruit? Both.
The answer is both.
It was terrifying.
I guess this is kind of an apt, I would suppose, happy thing then, because I want to talk about my man, the late great Pee-Wee Herman.
I'm so excited that you are bringing this.
Thank you. Particularly because the docuseries about him that he is very much a part of is on HBO Max now.
And she's on the correct name again.
Right. She's now biblically officially HBO Max. Let the record show we are vindicated. We've never been wrong in our lives. We were not dead naming her. We were putting this as her true name all along. Okay?
One, I'm glad that I forgot that it was just called Max. And two, I'm glad that I never uninstalled HBO Max for my TV. So
Right.
That's on me.
It's like a 2-part, basically kind of like 2 movies, in a way, but it is very, interesting in the way that obviously Pee-Wee Herman is a very layered and interesting human and character within, pop culture, but also with many other types of relationship to art and broadcasting and, public personas, and which is already very fascinating, but the way this is done, and I feel like a lot of times, particularly when celebrities make, or are very heavily invested in, the biopic about themselves, right? Mm-hmm. And that kind of feels very, okay, are we giving you the final word of how cool you want to look in this movie about yourself, right?
Yeah.
But with this, it feels very there is that element of guiding the narrative and, manipulation of, what is real and what is farce.
Ooh.
Even in, just direct conversations. And even, it is very aware of itself as a thing that has bias and a thing that has perspective, but also a thing that's trying to go through that. And there's like some very interesting contentious moments, even with, you know, the director like having conducted these interviews with Paul Reubens, of, you know, Paul being like, I see that you're trying to guide me into a question about, you know, gayness and like queerness, right? And like, I can see this is all the lights and all the things here, but like that relationship is so interesting because like so much of his life is also this duplicity of what is real and what is a bit, right? And I think also that, you know, in conversation with like a Nathan Fielder, right? Or like all these different things that we're kind of seeing as like these very bodacious public personas of who are you outside of this thing? Or is there, is that you? You know, like what that relationship is like is so interesting and so good. And like I cried fucking the whole time, obviously. You know, because that's my dad. Like, I don't identify as someone with a dad, but if I did, like, it's Paul Reubens, right? Like,
for real.
That's my guy, you know? And there's, like, really good cameos, like Cassandra Peterson, aka Elvira, is in the interviews a lot because they did Groundlings together, and there's, like, so many good photos of them, like, as young people, which is really beautiful. And it's just, like, a really interesting attempt to create a very final word about your legacy while also grappling with the fact that those things are not objective and doesn't matter if it is, right?
When I found out that he did not tell anyone on the production team that he was dying during that, that's so Nathan Fielder to me.
Yeah.
Of like, because you can't let go of the narrative. You are still trying to craft this during it, and you can't relax.
Right.
That was so intriguing to me that I was like, I have to watch this.
Yeah.
Because what do you mean you're not telling them about something that is looming? I mean, because we're all dying, but like, you are imminently dying right now. What?
Right. Yeah, it's so fascinating. And like I've read some pieces of the director like talking about, because this was like a 4 years kind of in the making project or something, and being like, this is, you know, obviously it was very, even if it was contentious, it was very illuminating and very good, and like I'm proud of the thing we did, but it was also like this relationship that Paul had to it of being like never wanting to fully lose any control in this, even if he is like a subject, right? In this is like so fascinating of like what that dynamic looks like in something like this. It's so good.
Unfortunately, so relatable.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
And I was telling you off recording, but for the audience, my parents fell into the propaganda about Paul Reubens. So I did not grow up with Pee-Wee Herman. Obviously his influence on culture, right? Like I knew about SpongeBob, things like he was obviously, I have engaged with Paul Reubens' work throughout my life, but I did not, you know, like ever watch the show because my parents had feelings about it. Right? It was not until, you know, in my adulthood that I realized like, oh, they had been conned. Shocker. My parents fell into propaganda. Who knew? What? And so I'm so excited to be able to watch this and to understand more about his legacy. This dropping during Gemini season is so appropriate given, you know, the work of, I love a duplicitous character. I love an artist. Rip Paul.
Rip to the goat, for real.
You would have loved this season of The Rehearsal Man.
Oh my god, yeah. How are you doing, my dude?
I'm here. I am persisting. I'm also bringing some art to the space this week that made me happy but made me cry, because that's my favorite kind of comedy. Yeah. And it is the most recent special from Mike Birbiglia. I love this man. Yeah. I've been listening to his podcast for quite a while, but I did not have Netflix until we watched this most recent season of You. So everyone shut up, okay? I might be talking about Netflix stuff for a while. It's not sponsored. I just have it for a month. Everyone shut up. The first special that I remember watching of him was the new one where he was talking about parenthood for the first time. And so getting to watch his craft, these last three especially have been bangers. Of that one, the one of the old man in the pool, and then this most recent one of the good life. What I love about Mike is not just that he's funny, but he brings a Broadway play-esque to his comedy that you don't often see in stand-up, that I really appreciate, because one, I like pretty things, so thank you for that. But also, the only way that I can describe this is tying it to Bo, even though they're very different in the way that they craft things. But I love comedy that is sad, because I think that comedy is at its best when it is able to tackle hard topics. And this most recent special, Mike is talking a lot more about his father and his ailing health, which at first glance is like, that's not funny. But how else do you process things if you are a comedian? And it's like, well, I got to work this through. I have to tell this story. There are a lot of times where I'm crying, not because it's necessarily sad, but he's a storyteller at heart. And I love a good story. And so I'm laughing and I'm crying, and it is beautifully done visually as well. And I'm grateful that there are comedians out there who are good at their craft, who like to tell stories, and it's not all meant for clips on TikTok. Like, it's not just all crowd work bits, I guess.
Yeah.
It is very clearly like he wanted to tell a end-to-end story on there. And he's been in the game for a long time. It's a little bit different than, I guess, folks that are in the, like, up-and-comers, I guess, who wouldn't have necessarily had the time to, I don't know, work in UCB. Not that I think UCB is good. It's a cult. But, like,
Yeah.
Do the grind, I guess. I love a good story. What can I say?
Yeah. That's really interesting, too, because, like, I'm also a fan of Mr. Birbiglia and his stuff, but, like, particularly, he is such a balm against the very, like, sort of pseudo-viral crowd work stuff that you were mentioning of that is really, really hot right now, right? Which is fine. Sometimes it's good. A lot of times it's garbo, whatever. But he is one that is, like, he is writing and concepting these things, like, to the second, right? Like, he is very, obviously there's room to play, but, like, for the most part, it is very organized. Like, I remember even his conversation on his podcast he had with Chris Fleming, who, like, very famously does not, like, longhand anything. He's like, I have vibes, I got ideas, you know? And he's like, that pisses me off, because I'm like, if I don't write it down exactly every word for word, it won't be the joke I wrote. Like, it won't be good. Like, I can't riff like that. And I think that's such, like, an interesting parallel to, like, a lot of more of the, which both are good ways to do it. It's just, like, different, right? But it is interesting of, like, he's very, like, that, like, this is every word I'm going to say in this order, and, like, this is the intonation, right? Which is, like, you know, and he's very good at crafting it like that, you know?
And that is where I think you can definitely tell that he has an acting, like a Broadway background, and it comes through in his stand-up, not just visually, but in the storytelling nature. I think both have their strengths in the sense of, I love Chris Fleming. Caleb Heron has mentioned that too, that it is very vibes based. He said, like, I work shit out on stage, and the idea of that makes me want to vomit. I would imagine Mike is the same way.
Yeah.
The idea of that is so interesting, but I think that all of them do crowd work because, again, that is a comedian thing. It even shows up in Mike's stand-up. There are little bits of it that I imagine happen outside of the special, like just during stuff. But it is a way to garner SEO. It is a way to get attention online. I get it. I like a story. That is the kind of comedians that I garner and I engage with on here. And especially the topics that I have seen throughout Mike's most recent specials are very topical, and I relate to, and I think that they're interesting. So welcome, Mike Birbiglia. You are welcome to Pride. You're here.
Honorary friend of the show.
Yes, because I regularly listen to your podcast, and you're cool. You can hang.
You can hang, absolutely.
There weren't any current events this week. We've had this one saved for a bit, and since this is a Caroline heavy episode, it felt appropriate. Also, because apparently I think Miley dropped some music this week when we're recording this, so it is also a little bit timely. This is a TikTok from the user Isabella Vitanglio. We're probably related. I'm gonna be honest with you. It is, hard-hitting news from the Hannah Montana movie.
This took me out. This clip took me out.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
No.
That, love of my life, who we have seen on the show sing,
right,
was also in the Hannah Montana movie as a backup singer. No, it doesn't surprise me that Candice King was in this. But it was shocking to stumble upon.
It's so beautiful. The pure just like volume in her hair in this clip.
It's so good.
Of the time, it is so beautiful. And listen, she's got star power. We've known this about her. And it's beautiful.
Here's what I'm going to say. Hannah Montana was it was in my time, but that wasn't my ministry.
Sure.
But Miss Candice King looks great. The bump.
Yeah.
The bump in her hair is beautiful. She looks like a true Ashley Simpson here. And I think that's beautiful.
Yes.
I bet that she made good money. So I love that for her.
Yeah.
I think that it's great news. Good on her.
Hell yeah.
So I texted you.
Yeah.
Right after I finished watching that episode this morning, because I was really upset.
Yeah.
Not only about the contents of this episode, but the fact that we just can't catch a fucking break watching this show.
They want us to suffer.
And I should have, egg on my face, right? Because I know better.
Sure. Yeah, fool me once,
I know better than to think that we're going to have any sort of like dance type episode that is going to be conflict free.
Sure.
So I knew going into this, it being a senior prom, that it wasn't going to end well. I just didn't realize to what extent it was going to be painful.
And it's like painful in so many different angles at the same time. So like every scene you're like, here's another thing I'm fucking upset about. Like, and there's no place to just chill out. It's real dense with sadness.
I agree. The only thing that is giving me a little bit of solace is that according to the Vampire Diaries wiki, thank you Vampire Diaries wiki, it says that for this episode, it is Kat Graham's favorite. It was her favorite episode to film.
Ooh.
Which, hey girl, what?
Yeah. Are you good? Okay.
But if you're happy, I'm happy. So I'll relax a little bit. I couldn't take a second to breathe because I was getting beat up by teenagers for 45 minutes straight. And I'm mad about it. The only benefit that I will say, Elena had some good lines this episode.
Oh my god. She was fucking cooking this episode.
I unfortunately, not in the context of this episode, I unfortunately love bad girl, like evil queen Nina.
Yeah.
I can tell that she loves playing that, and I love that for her.
She's having so much fun. Somehow the, like, red highlights are more vibrant than ever. I think maybe because of evil. I don't know, but I love it, right? It's just maybe they're powering her. I just, she's having such a good time, even though everyone around her is fucking going through it, as well as she is, but she's just not processing it, obviously.
Right.
But goddamn.
It is this like pseudo intervention that they're trying to do at prom. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, I have no emotions, so I'm just going to bite back harder at you all. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Contextually, I do think that this is accurate to a senior prom in the sense that the characters we saw went through every emotion possible. Mm-hmm. And that is true to my experience at my senior prom. I do think that I experienced every emotion possible. So they got that there. Mm-hmm. That was true. 2 things that made me laugh this episode. Yeah. There were a couple things that made me laugh, but 2 things that stood out to me that made me laugh. 1, Stefan and Damon starting this episode off playing football.
God.
In their home. That they don't have the title to, by the way. They don't own this home. Elena does. So, rude.
Yeah. Squatters' rights, you know.
We've never seen this happen before. I mean, we know contextually that Stefan has at least had a uniform for a football team.
Sure.
But weird thing to suddenly happen. Second thing, this isn't technically funny, but it was a little bit funny. The way that Elena killed April.
Oh my.
I shouldn't have been laughing, but I was laughing a lot.
It's her energy here is so welcome, even though it is horrific, right? But like, you know, because it's an interesting parallel to, you know, Rebecca in this moment, who is trying to like have a Ferris Bueller's Day Off sort of moment and be like, I'm gonna role play as a human to see if I really want this and prove to Elijah that I'm good for real. It, you know? And she's like, I'm gonna be a good girl. I'm not gonna use my powers. I'm not gonna kill anyone. Yada, yada, yada. And Elena comes up to April, is like, hey, bitch, you gotta rig this prom queen situation, okay, for me? Thank you. And then that does not happen. And she's like, bitch, what did I tell you? And fucking like knocks her out.
We haven't seen April canonically in the show in like weeks. And then she shows up.
Yeah.
Where has this girl been?
Yeah.
No, it was too funny. Elena, this episode being the devil on Rebecca's shoulder was very important to me.
Yes. Like what a turntable, you know?
No, for real. Like, and to find out that Elena is staying with Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hello. Okay. Let's talk about it. I'd like to learn more about that. They just drop
that in and expect us just not casually to be like, okay, hold on, run that back, actually.
Yeah, we're having our little parties. We're inviting women to be in between us while we both feed from them, but not kiss each other, you know? And it's great. It's a good roomy situation.
Rebecca's whole thing this episode was tough to watch. Mm-hmm. Not from a writing sense. I was just having secondhand embarrassment, personally.
Yeah.
She looked great.
Mm-hmm.
She was very pretty. It was more so when she started getting to prom, specifically with Matt, that I started feeling that secondhand embarrassment. Specifically when she asked Matt, do you think that I would make a good human? He was like, no. No.
This guy just keeps getting dragged into all this bullshit, right? And he's like, I gotta be so for real. Like, you don't seem like a good person. I also don't know you that well. You know what I mean? Like, we've had our moments and stuff, but like, I can't tell you straight to your face that I think you'd rock, you know? Right. Given the information that I know. And she's like, cool, awesome. I'm gonna go jump off a bridge. Thank you.
It's so awful because she is essentially asking Matt for a letter of recommendation. He's like, I don't know you, right? I don't know you that well. Second of all, what I do know, not good.
Right.
It's not good.
Yeah.
And her trying so hard to play one, straight, right? To not compel anyone, to not kill anyone, but then also trying to play it cool. She's like, yeah, for sure.
Totally.
Okay. And then having to ask him later on to dance, and he's like, no, so I thought we just did this. No.
Right.
I don't know you. It's, you can see like their sims, like the negatives above his head. And he's like, I mean, you are a vampire, so you could kill me. So I guess, dude.
Right. I don't know, man. What do you want? Like,
it's just wild for her to look at Matt, and no shade, Matt. Like, you are on paper the most typical high schooler that we have in this show. You really are an audience surrogate, unfortunately. And so she looks at him and is like, you're everything I want to be. And he's like, Rebecca, I'm a busboy.
Right.
I need you to be for real with yourself. But she is, even though Elijah and Klaus said this about like, hey, the grass isn't always greener, she is not taking that to heart.
Yeah.
Bless her, though, because she is following these rules to a T, as far as being very literal of like, you cannot kill anyone, you can't turn anyone, you just have to be good. And the opportunity to showcase that of like actually saving April's life, she's like, no, sorry, I can't, my brother told me I can't do that, sorry.
Yeah.
Looking at Matt being like, this is the one time, girl.
Right. I think it's a real ends justify the means thing, my guy. It's like, he's like, hey, I know you're trying to be all like holier than thou right now. April is dying, right? So like maybe that's like a good thing to do, like what a human would do if they had the ability, right?
Right.
Because that's pure of heart, you know, rather than being like, oh, sorry, can't touch that. Yikes. Elijah will be mad at me. He's gonna take my cure away.
God damn. It is wild to see her go through all of this and then not be able to get the cure, which, like, obviously, right? That would be too simple.
Right.
But the interactions that she has with Klaus this episode, Klaus is always on some bullshit.
Dude.
Specifically the dynamics that he has with his siblings, and Rebecca specifically this episode.
Yeah.
The one at the jump of this episode, I think he said something nasty I remember writing down, which is like, oh, you want to be human? Interesting. Okay, well, when you're dying, when you're on your deathbed, I'm going to tell you that you're wild and ridiculous, and then I'm going to compel you to forget me. So...
How about that?
How about that, actually?
He is so petty. He is so like... God forbid like, your sister has a dream, you know? Like, God
no,
damn.
For real. It was like, I'm gonna laugh in your face while you're dying, and then you're never gonna be able to remember me. And very much at the end, when he catches her saving April's life, which like, okay. He did the same thing. He's like, you're bored. I mean, true, but coming from Klaus's mouth. And you're looking for a reason to matter, which again, true, but not what we want to be hearing from Klaus of all people.
No, yeah. I don't want him to be the judgment police, you know, for anyone. Like, it's like, from where you're standing, buddy, come on now. Get over yourself.
Yeah. You're the one to talk.
Being like, actually, I need you to go to Elijah to his face and tell him that. Like, I would, and I would get so much joy out of it, but, like, I want you to do it and tell him you failed, bitch. Okay? And it's like, Jesus Christ, drama queen.
It was Silas who was pretending to be her, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
That's, because I was like, that's not, we don't have another Blondie.
Right, we don't have another Blondie. And, like, because in that moment, it is, like, spliced with him, you know, Klaus being like, you got to tell him because you failed, nah. And it's like spliced with her, aka Silas as her, telling Elijah, like, I did so good, boss. Like, I fucking crushed it. Like, there was some complications along the way, but I did so good. Hand me that cure, baby girl. Like, which, first of all...
For why, though, is what I don't get.
Yes. Silas being able to trick all these jabronis by being, obviously with Bonnie, it makes sense, right? Because that is like, that's the only one that's understandable, because it is very in her brain in a way that she can't escape, right?
Yes.
But everyone else gets a fucking doppelganger that Silas is in, and like both Stefan and Damon get fucking like totally
These
confused,
two,
right?
I'm not going to put it past Stefan and Damon, because we know with Tweedledee and Tweedledum, they have no sensibilities, right?
Yeah.
With the originals, though, aren't y'all supposed to be like, aren't you supposed to have, you're supposed to be better than everyone, right? Isn't that your whole thing? Why can Silas trick you all? I don't get it.
Yeah. It's just, especially with Elijah, right? Because I trust this man.
No, really.
You know? He seems perceptive, more so than all these other chuckle fucks. And the fact that so willingly, he's like, bet, okay, good job. Here's the fucking cure. Have fun. Nothing more from me. And it's like, my guy, we know there is someone who is impersonating people or taking the form of people.
You all have been around for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Why don't you all have a fucking code word or something? Like, it's just, I know it wouldn't be good for the show, but it's honestly embarrassing that you all can be deceived so easily. Because I knew that it was Silas in that moment, but I didn't understand why. Like, for what? Why do you need the cure then, TM? It doesn't make sense to me, based on especially how this episode ends, where he's like, so you want to open the gates of hell? Cool. Who are you giving the cure to? You're fine. Yeah. Do you just not want anyone else to have it? I mean, I guess that's simple enough for this villain, honestly. Yeah, right. But it was just I don't understand the motive. Yeah. I did think it was funny that Stefan and Damon got by Silas, because especially Damon's, because Damon is having a really shitty prom.
Oh my god, just the absolute worst. The pits right now.
It's so funny that he was like, oh yeah, I'm coming in here with the purpose of making Elena's life hell, right? Like, I'm going to flood her with emotions. And then immediately 2 seconds later, here he is with a flask, surrounded by all of these picture memories. And he's like, damn, I got played by my own tricks. And again, fucking egg on my face. I didn't expect it to hurt as much to see Silas interfering with Bonnie again. Because he is up to some real sick shit this episode. Yeah. For the most part, he's only presented himself as Shane to her. Yeah. Which, gross, but tolerable. Then this motherfucker decides, oh, I'm actually not, my manipulation isn't working enough. I need to hit nitro mode. You're going to use my love skin. You're going to put on Jeremy's meat suit. I'm going to kill you myself, Silas. Come here. I'm going to break your bones.
Nasty. Because we know that Bonnie knows that this isn't real. But it still fucking hurts. Because even when she's like, is this happening? Like, he's like, does it matter? You know? Oh, and that fucking, first of all, fuck you.
First of all, go kill. Yeah. Go sit in the corner.
Yeah. Think of what you've done.
5-minute ban.
Goddamn. But, like, just to have that, like, beautiful prom moment that is not even real, you know, but it feels real, or it's close to something that could have been, is so fucking, I hate it. I hate it so much. It makes me really sad. I hate it.
I hate that this episode starts off with her in the cemetery. And y'all have to make me look at Jeremy's headstone, which didn't have dates on it. And I knew in my gut that Elena would not have made a headstone. Yeah. Already. Because she didn't have her emotions on, so she wouldn't have cared enough to do it. but it didn't have dates on it. And I was immediately like, oh, okay. This feels a little too real. I've been hoping this whole time that Jeremy would come back.
Yeah.
And so that sucks a lot. The prom part felt like my own personal hell because and we've talked about this. I don't ship Jeremy and Bonnie like that. I see them more as just like friends, but this is very clearly, it doesn't matter to Silas. He's using it to cause her pain. What I appreciated about that scene was because the fact that it's like nighttime, there's moonlight. I also felt like they used some sort of filter and it felt kind of eerie, dreamlike.
Yeah,
in that
sure.
moment. That was very spoopy. The needle drop felt uncalled for to me.
It was nasty work.
And kind of took me out of the moment a little bit. Seeing Jeremy get to play evil is unfortunately very important to me. So, and also just solidifies the fact that that is not a 17-year-old. Like, that is a man.
Sorry.
But sorry about it. Like, that's, sure, I'll suspend my belief enough to pretend that that's a high schooler, but like, that's an actor who is a man. Sorry about it.
Right.
I hate seeing Bonnie in pain. I think this is the first time that Bonnie has seen no humanity Elena. Like in the dress shop.
Yeah, right.
It looked like she had been slapped in the face, and I was very personally upset about that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, so, she's like gone. Like, oh, okay, cool, awesome. Fuck this.
And it's so hard because Elena's having great lines, but also Bonnie's hurt, and so I'm being pulled in so many directions. Because Elena walks in, she's like, "Hey, Bonnie, heard you got your mind wiped. That sucks." And I'm like,
"Oh my god, yeah, the audacity." Also, like, it's so fucked. Of like this whole episode, Bonnie is being, fucked over by Silas and being pulled in a lot of emotional directions and trying to have a sense of control over it and to like push that away, right?
Yeah.
And this whole time, well, by herself, mind you, right? Just totally just raw dogging this shit. No one's really out to help her. And she like goes to the gang at the prom. It's like, hey, y'all, we got a bit of a problem. Because I keep seeing the manifestations of Jeremy through Silas, and I feel like I can't do anything about it. I would like some help, please. And I can't remember if it was Stefan or Damon, but one of them was like, oh, that's just Silas fucking with you. You gotta not let him do that. It's like, you fucking, are you kidding me? Nobody is even trying to help her.
The one time that Bonnie goes to people and asks for help.
Yeah.
And this is a very pivotal time because she is fully aware of the fact that her powers are not stable right now.
Yeah.
And it is so difficult for her to ask for help. She goes and she goes to Damon, first of all, mind you. She walks up to him, of all, this asshat, and is like, I need help.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, no, it's fine. It's just in your head. Bitch.
Like, that is the point, Damon. It's the
literally. She is aware it is in her head.
Yeah.
That is the problem.
You can't just be like, what if you just didn't think about it? You know what I mean? Like, just don't stress about it. That's not helpful, my dog. What? What are we doing?
What if you just turn your anxiety off? But, Damon, I'll kill you myself.
I swear to God. It's like she's looking for tangible
2 seconds
help.
later, she's fucking breaking all of Elena's bones. Damon, you know what could have stopped this?
Yeah.
This was preventable.
God. Fucking
I will also
fools
say
out here.
that, like, from POV, right? From all of these different POVs, this prom sucks. But, like, from Bonnie's POV, right? Yeah. She doesn't want to be here. She's coming with Matt, of all people.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Sounds like
punishment. You're here, I guess. You're around.
And then, just immediately walks in and Elena's like, you are a brainwashed crazy person. These are Elena's words, not mine. And also you are a walking reminder of all the horrible things that have happened to me. And Bonnie's like, so why am I here again?
Right. It's like, if nobody fucking wants me here, and I'm just a burden to everyone with my fucking Silas Bond connection, what the fuck are we doing here?
Right, exactly. What am I?
Y'all don't give a fuck? I don't give a fuck. I'm out. Like, sorry.
And then she wins prom queen.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Then, and this is how we know Elena's really off the deep end right now. And I started to get real pissed at this moment. Because Elena, and we know it's not Elena, but it is still technically Elena, being like, well, if I can't get to Silas, I'll just kill Bonnie instead.
Miss Ma'am. Hey.
I need you to lock in really quick.
Yeah.
Because that's your girl. You would have been dead 4 seasons ago. Yeah.
He would have been dead so many different times.
Right.
If it weren't for Bonnie. So, like, have some respect. Fool. I know you're real far gone right now, and that's okay. But, like, fucking Jesus Christ, man.
It just...
And her talking shit, too, being like, oh my god, if Silas dies, that would suck so bad because everyone would come back to life, and I'd have to hear Rick and Jeremy tell me to get my humanity back. And it's like, oh my god. Elena.
And I just physically can't deal with 2 more men talking to me. It's already insufferable enough.
Already too many in here.
Hey, Elena, I get it. There are a lot of chuckle fucks around you. What you can't do, though, is open the gates of hell and also kill your best friend. That's what we're not going to do. What if we got to sit down, we got to get a talking stick, we got to deal with our feelings. Okay? What we can't do is kill our way through this. It's not going to work.
Rebecca needs to host another one of those classroom intervention things.
When Elena brought that up, I died. She's like, remember that girl? Hey, I need you to get it together.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
It was so painful to watch the 2 girls that I love, of Bonnie and Elena, fighting each other. Because what a way to fail the Bechdel test.
In stunning fashion, yeah.
And then Damon and Stefan are just watching it happen because they can't stop these 2 powerful women. But Damon and Stefan are mad at Bonnie. Why? Because Elena bit Bonnie and Bonnie tried to stop her.
Yeah.
Why are we mad at Bonnie?
Yeah, why is this Bonnie's fault? First of all, Elena tried to... fault. Second of all, right, for the record, this all leads to Silas, which none of y'all seem to give a fuck about. You're just like, oh, he's just like around, that's fine, we'll deal with that later. It's like, no, it's actually like really impacting people currently in this moment. So like we kind of need to give a shit about that. So.
And second of all, Bonnie was not the aggressor in this moment.
No.
Elena's the one who bit her, and Bonnie said, hey, stop.
Right.
So please don't be mad at her, okay?
Yeah.
It's not her fault that she does not...
She's in a very vulnerable position.
She's in a very vulnerable position, and also she does not have control of the scope of her power. So sorry that she started just breaking Elena's bones. Maybe she meant it. Maybe she didn't. Okay? Right. But what it did, unfortunately, unlock for these 2 sickos is that Elena does have an emotion left, and it's fear. And that's the last thing these 2 need to be aware of right now. I don't need any men being aware of Elena still having fear left. Okay? That is where this show goes into horror.
When they saw that and had their like little eureka moment back home of being like, I got it. Here's the plan. We remind Elena of her emotions with fear. I'm like, I swear to God.
This is where this goes into the fucking Handmaid's Tale.
We cannot, this is not a plan. This is just something you discovered, right? This is not an actionable plan. And also, again, regardless of Elena's getting her groove back or whatever, in that timeline, the Silas stuff is much more imminent. So we kind of gotta do that. Why don't we cut this off
at the pass, actually?
Right. How about we follow up after we figure out if there's opened up a portal to hell and everyone that is dead has come back? How about we focus on that task first?
Also, speaking of focusing on tasks, we would be remiss to not talk about prom planner Barbie here. Who, from her point of view of this prom, bad. Bad prom.
Yeah. Yeah. Got her dress fucking stolen. She's asking Klaus to go into his archival fucking dress barn or whatever from the originals to get her something regal.
Why?
Oh my God.
First of all, Elena stealing Caroline's dress, hilarious. Nasty, but hilarious.
Yeah. Right.
You know she's down bad when she shows up at Klaus's house and is like, I need you to unlock your storage.
Right.
Because what the last thing I'm going to do is go to my senior prom that I planned and not look good.
Yeah. And she's right to say that.
Him laughing in her face in that moment is disrespectful. Because if you would forget, Klaus, the one time that your family hosted a gala, y'all lined up on the stairs and coordinated outfits. So you're one to talk, actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So shut up. Second of all, of course you have relics. So she doesn't need to go buy a dress, okay? She's already spent enough money. I thought that was very resourceful of her, even though I don't like her going to ask for help. I wish that we would have gotten more context on why Caroline chose pictures of you as the theme.
Yeah.
Because what it felt like, based on Tweedledee and Tweedledum throwing the football around, is that this was an emotional intervention. And I know Caroline enough to know that this theme has been planned out for months. So I would have liked a little bit more behind the scenes on that, but that's fine. I'll set that aside. I expected that Tyler was Silas, and that did not seem to be the case.
Yeah, I was very, after all the other things this episode, I was like, this can't be actually Tyler, right? Why would we give Caroline the one thing that she's kind of been wanting all night?
Right.
And I guess it's still just like a, not like super happy hunky-dory, right? It's still a pretty bittersweet version of that, because they do have this moment of like, Tyler's in his own house, so we can't get got by Silas in there, and they can have like a little dance and be cute, and he's wearing his little suit and it's cute. But like, knowing that this is still the situation of he's got to run forever kind of stuff,
right.
And the way that Klaus like is just posted up outside like, hey bitch.
So funny. And it wasn't supposed to be funny in the show, but it was funny.
None of this was supposed to be funny. It was so fucking funny, unfortunately, because like Klaus is posted up and he's like, hey bitch, that was all cute and all, but I'm gonna give you like 2 seconds. And the way that Tyler just boops, like, it's like just the fast run. I know it's because he's a werewolf, okay? I know it's a supernatural thing. It's just always funny when they make them run really fast after really intense emotional moments.
It was
that's
like
our cat and mouse game again.
It was no, for real, because it was like in Looney Tunes, like you could see the dust of the person.
Yes.
Oh,
it was so silly.
Again, it was supposed to be really intimidating and threatening in the moment, but he was like, got a blast, and then just...
Yeah, right. It's like, and I'm out of here.
Oh, so good. I'm glad that it didn't end up being fake and that Caroline did get a moment of reprieve, but I fully expected to never see Tyler again. Yeah, I had made peace with that. So, okay. My question, the way that I have interpreted the note at the end of this and the photo that we have of next episode is that this is how they're segueing into the spinoff.
Right. Yeah.
Because first of all, how did Catherine's note get there? I guess we'll never know.
Sure.
But also,
she got some carrier pigeons compelled, being like, all right, send this off for me.
She asked Damon to turn into a crow again, that we didn't see on camera.
The fact that he did that once and then never again is so diabolical.
I want you all to know, I think about it like at least every other day. It haunts me that we've never seen it again.
I need it. I want it to be a crow again.
And that's saying something, because y'all know how I feel about birds, but they've never mentioned it again. No. Catherine unlocked a new character, Jane Ann Devereaux. So, sure. Okay. And apparently, next episode is titled The Originals. So I still need to know how we're supposed to watch them. Are they supposed to happen simultaneously? Who's to say, Yeah. Let us know. We're so close to the end of this season.
Oh boy.
And if we don't get real Silas's face, because I couldn't see it. I figured that
it's real dark. Yeah.
I know CW shows are dark. But like I figured it was intentional that we could not see his face. We have presumably 3 episodes left. I'm nervous about all of these loose ends right now.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm just scared. All of our girls are not in good places.
No, they're not.
I'm not doing well. But we have some amazing patrons to thank. Would you like to start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to Greg Lautner.
Ooh, thank you to April Dobrev.
Ooh, thank you to Sean Salvatore.
Ooh, thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Ow. Thank you to Katya Karp.
Ooh, thank you to Genevieve Morgan. Come on down.
Pew, pew, pew. Thank you to Danielle Burke.
Ooh, thank you to Janae Bennett.
Ow. Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ooh, thank you to Dan Zeklos.
Ow. Thank you to Emily Ozera.
Ooh, and last but certainly not least, thank you to Jaylene Ivashkov.
Pew, pew, pew.
I have a fan fiction for you. It is titled Fallen Stars, TVD. It is, it is by the author Charlie Winchester 1042. And I'm going to read the summary of this for you.
Okay.
The summary is, what if the Scooby Gang had older siblings who were already part of the supernatural world when they ran away from town? Years before Elena became the doppelganger, what if the friend group of those siblings decided to go back to town, not realizing the soon-to-be war between their siblings and the original family? What if they are the very thing needed to keep the Michelson family from falling into despair and heartbreak? Let's just hope the fallen stars of Mystic Falls are up to the task.
Oh my
god. Listen, you put the Scooby Gang in this, and you have caught my attention.
Sure, I'm certainly intrigued. Yeah.
So if this has also intrigued you, there are 26 chapters in this piece for you to enjoy. I haven't read it, so I have no idea. But the summary caught me by surprise enough that I needed to share with the class.
Sure, absolutely.
Friends, I'm so excited to go and watch, first of all, HBO Max. Second of all, to go watch this documentary. Tell your friends and your family about the show. If you haven't already, join the Patreon. We have a new bonus episode that just came out in the last couple days. We have defeated the evil that is you.
We have done it.
Which is good. And as we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
get bit.
Ooh.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.